Hello everybody and welcome to round 2 of the Petefighter Podcast. I am your host, Petefighter. Thank you so much for tuning in. Well, it is my pleasure to have with us today someone very, very special in the FGC. We have Rob from Nsurgo. Rob, you're on. Say hello to everybody.
Hello everybody. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining me on the podcast. Okay, so for anybody that doesn't know, Rob, would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Rob Bautista. I am one of the the founding members of Nsurgo.
Mm-hmm.
I have been with the company for 3 years now. We specialize in how do I say it?
Lifestyle?
Really stuff.
Cool
Really
shit.
Cool merchandise. We make cool shit for people. Can I say that?
You can say that. I put the it's not for kids thing on my thing, so you're allowed to say. You can say shit, fuck, whatever you like. Just go for it.
Okay. No, we're not gonna go there. Oh, okay. So this is what we do. What do? We do some really cool stuff, guys. We make some really cool products for some really cool companies that you guys probably recognize. We've worked with some major, what I would consider some major projects. Everything from Kojima Productions and Metal Gear Solid to Capcom, Capcom and Street Fighter, which we are most famous for, and also some other pop culture brands out there like the Tokidokis, your Sanrios, and things like that. So you may not have heard of us before, in terms of who is Nsurgo, but I'm pretty confident you've probably seen our stuff around. We focus on collectability. Just because of our background, we focus on collectability and just really making some cool shit. So
there you go. Cool shit. That's your tagline right there. We make Nsurgo. We make cool shit.
I wish I could use it. I wish I could use that tagline. I'm trying to think of a new tagline for 2019. I haven't come up with that.
No, I think we make cool shit is perfect.
I don't know how far that would go in some of the shows we do. So
This is true. So, what is your sort of background?
So, gosh, how do you even begin the story?
Start at the beginning. I was born.
I was born as a geek. I love video games.
Uh-huh.
I started with the 2600.
Uh-huh.
No, all kidding aside, I was always one of those kids who really did love video games, who loved pop culture. I grew up on, I'm an 80s kid, right? So I grew up on the Indiana Jones, right? Star Wars and all that other really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Over time, I was always that one that was playing with the 2600. I got the Nintendo. And I was playing a lot of Contra and Top Gun and Super Mario and things like that. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm going really far back right now.
You're aging yourself nicely here. Yeah. And I am too, because I'm saying, oh yeah.
Remember all that stuff when it was still called Mike Tyson's Punch-Out?
Right?
Things change over time.
I know. Ooh, awkward.
Yeah. So I've always been into video games, right? And growing up there, in terms of growing up in my career, as I started working in, my, I don't know what you want to call it, my career path that, all of us in the world are said that we're supposed to do after we finish university and stuff. I started working for some pretty cool companies, and probably the coolest company I ever worked for was Adidas. So I worked for Adidas Global, and I was there for quite some time, and I had the opportunity to see a lot of aspects of business in general. Everything from marketing to sales to customer service to logistics to everything, accounting, everything. I saw everything. And the one I remember, there was the brand, the arm of the Adidas I worked for was actually Adidas Golf. Oh yeah,
and, you're quite an avid golfer, I know.
I'm an avid hacker. Golf. It was really funny because golf actually opened up a lot of opportunities in terms of getting to know people in different companies and stuff like that. So I don't know if I even shared this with you, Pete. Through the network, right? That's actually how I met some of the guys at Disney back in the day. So I met some guys, and they were part of the licensing team back then, and just through the network, we just started talking. I was still kind of just a day job kind of employee, so there was no business sense in me of what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Nsurgo wasn't even a thought. But what I was doing with all my money that I was making was spending it at Comic Con. Right? So I was spending a lot of money at Comic Con. It was ridiculous.
Well, you're quite the collector. You come from a collecting background.
Exactly.
Uh-oh.
And I remember there was one year I came back, and I was just like, I've just spent way too much money. And I remember that year. I remember that year also, or the year after that. I remember there was nothing to buy. Not that I had bought everything. Don't get me wrong. It's just that the quality of the collectibles just went to crap. Like there was nothing really cool anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I was really disappointed in what Mattel had put out. I was really disappointed with Hasbro. You know, like they'd always put out some really cool stuff, but it wasn't cool anymore. It was just kind of real boring.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I was like, man, I wish somebody would create something that's really cool, like that I would want to see, that I would want to buy. But it was starting to die down. We started seeing Funko come up, right, as a collector. When I saw Funko, I saw how they were going to change the dynamic of Kid Robot and everybody else. So
absolutely.
The urban pop scene had a real jolt in the arm when Funko came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it's not a good or a bad thing. I think it's just healthy business competition there, and they changed the complete dynamic of how collectibles are going to be bought. You know,
absolutely. They are literally in every sort of store, like all over the world. Like I can go to my local supermarket and I know I can pick up a Funko Pop in there of probably a character that I want, you know?
Yeah, they have. I mean, again, they're model guys. You know, like I said, it's nothing bad I'm saying about Funko. They just changed collectibles in general, especially the urban area. And what you're seeing now, which I think took a while for urban artists to adjust to, was how do we make stuff that's cool again? And I'm jumping around a little bit, but now you're starting to see some really cool designs out there.
Oh yeah,
It took a while. It took a while, but it's coming back.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I don't know if that really said. Well, anyway, so then you fast forward, and I really hated toys that were out there, and really it's not really a secret. You know, I was presented with an opportunity to create a company that allowed us into a space that didn't exist.
Yeah.
I had some friends that again, it's just having a really good network. I had some friends who had access to skateboards. I had friends who had access to production of skateboards. I knew a guy who knew a guy who knew good artists. So it was one of those things where you just kind of have to bring everything together.
It all clicked at the right time.
And yeah, it was the right time, the right place. There's you know, and I'll make this statement right now. It took a group effort. It wasn't me who put everything together, right? There was definitely people involved that without them, Nsurgo wouldn't exist today. But it took time from everybody to think through it and to work through something that we created. And it's very unfair for me to say that it was all me who put it together.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I definitely know there was a lot of behind the scenes and, you know, people that helped you on your way to success to become the globally recognized brand that you are now.
Yeah, it's kind of scary sometimes.
It is, but I mean, like, especially from my experience with you, because I feel like I've been there with you from the beginning. You know, I know there was a lot of preamble that went before that, but like I remember seeing the initial run of Street Fighter boards that you guys did on Instagram, and I was like, whoa, these are cool as hell. Like, they're amazing. Like, where did these come from? I was like, this is a really cool idea. And then you reached out to Street Fighter Legacy, and I was like, this is cool. Because, like, people have been sending me photos of the boards previously. So I was already aware of your brand before you reached out. And then we've sort of, like, created a little partnership ever since, really. I feel like both have sort of grown together. You know,
Yeah,
you've definitely been
yeah,
like massively influential on for my sort of I don't want to say career in this, but my foray with the FGC, you know, like you've definitely introduced me to so many influential and amazing people that I would never have had access to, I don't think, if it hadn't have been for you and being associated with you and your brand. So for that, I'm eternally thankful. I'm really thank you so much.
well, I mean, the story behind that. I mean, we're also and personally, I'm very thankful for what you've done for us too. You know, I think that the way business and strategy and marketing for new companies, I think what we did was we executed exactly on the way that the new strategy it looks like. Um,
Mm,
what I mean by that was it's very hard to penetrate a market where you're unknown,
yeah,
right? And
absolutely.
you know, even till today, no one really knows who we are, and I'm aware of that, and it's a challenge that we all face as a new company. But in terms of success, right, and for us in terms of sales, um, finding influencers that make sense was what I was after.
Yeah.
Um, you know, there's a lot of stories about this, and I'm pretty passionate about this also. Like when I found your account, I remember when I found your account, and we have a story about that even between you and I. I remember that there was a terrorist attack that night when I reached out to
Oh
you.
yeah, there was. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember I was literally sitting in San Diego and I was eating a sandwich and I was just like, oh my, Instagram, just talking to you, but it was a very interesting. I remember it was very interesting because I was executing on stuff that I had read about and never tried, and that was going after big, not necessarily the largest Instagram accounts. Like I could have gone after like, the Daigos and the Justins and thought, oh well, if I talk to the most popular guys right now, they'll talk about me and we'll make sales. Um,
Mm,
I stayed away from that because I couldn't quantify what that actually looked like in terms of sales. But when I looked at what you were presenting in terms of art and a fan base where you actually had people who what I felt would actually, spend money,
yeah,
that's why I was very interested in you. And again, it's purely business at this point, right? Because I was like,
absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
this guy's a fan, and as a fan, if he can appreciate what we do, he'll probably influence others. Whereas if I went to a pro player and said, hey, I have this really cool skateboard. You want it? Do you want to hang it up? They'd be like, oh, this is cool. But they're fighters. They may not appreciate it as much. And their fan base is more a fighting community, which
Exactly.
may not appreciate it as much either. So for me, I was trying to find people that I could sell to. It sounds kind of cold and callous, just talking about it that way. But what you find is this relationship and partnership between, Nsurgo and Street Fighter Legacy that's grown over the years.
Yeah,
And we've opened up, I think, with each other, we've opened up, different avenues and paths where I've been able to introduce you to, the fighting game community, and
yeah,
likewise you've been able to introduce us to other folks of influence and or artists and things like that. So
yeah,
I
absolutely.
think that um, over time, when you have a business or a brand, it's really, really important to look for those types of accounts or influencers that are really passionate about what they do, because if they believe in you, they're going to be very passionate about promoting you versus somebody that you just pay off to do it, and they're going to give you, Rihanna will give you one post, but that's about all she's going to give you. She might not believe in the product at all.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I don't know where that came from, but it's something that I've actually been asked about it a lot recently. It's like, why did you choose Street Fighter Legacy? It's funny. And I
Yeah,
told him because even before I knew you who you were, I knew what your account was about. We're known as a lifestyle brand for the FGC,
mm,
and
absolutely.
and and with that, our approach has been bridging that gap between the FGC and the casual fan.
Yeah,
Because I mean, here's the truth, right? The game came out, what, late. Well, I remember I played Street Fighter 2 in 92, 91, 92,
like yeah,
91, summer of 91. Was it summer of 91?
yeah.
My
1991, I think Street Fighter. Oh my god, I should know this.
I know.
1991. Yeah, I think it was 91, 92. It depends on where in the world you were at the time, but yeah, it came out. Yeah.
Okay, in 92. I'm gonna say 92. When I
Yeah,
played it.
something like that. We were young. We were 2 years old.
Yeah, we were 2.
We'd just been born. And
Yeah.
we started playing.
And we started playing Street Fighter 2.
We just got straight up on the arcade machine and we were going.
What was I saying?
I don't know. I'm lost.
Okay,
now.
let's scratch it. I forgot why I brought that
Scratch.
up. I totally forgot why I brought that up. I haven't had my coffee. I'm drinking a soda.
It's time to wake up.
Yeah.
But yes, you're known as a lifestyle brand.
Oh, that's
where
right.
you were going.
Okay, so as a lifestyle brand, I still don't remember what I was really going to. So there's a lot of fans out there, right? And what I mean about our fans, like, a lot of our how we split up our social media, and this might gauge, some of what we do here. On Instagram, a lot of the people who are fans and followers and consumers and customers on Instagram that go through Instagram,
Yeah.
they don't even know who the players are in the FGC.
Yeah.
Right.
I can
there's a
definitely.
Yeah, a huge majority of people out there who are fans of Street Fighter, but they don't know who the FGC is.
Yeah, they wouldn't be able
Right.
to pick out like Daigo or Justin Wong or
Nope.
Punk or any of them. No.
But you could put Chun-Li, Ryu, and Ken in front of them, and they know exactly who that is, right? And these are what I will call maybe the older demographic.
Yes.
When there were 2 euros playing in Street Fighter 2 in '92. So the older demographic actually probably doesn't know, because back then we didn't have online play. I was playing at 7-Eleven or at the student center,
Yeah,
right? And the only people we knew who played the game were the people that were in our neighborhood.
that's true. Yeah.
So any FGC type events were actually like mall events or mall tournaments or arcade tournaments. So it was very, very different for a lot of the folks on Instagram who are, I think, kind of like a mixed demographic. But on our Twitter, that's heavily FGC focused,
Yes.
right?
Absolutely.
So that's where we play a very interactive role in social media with Twitter, because in that situation, and I've seen it before in Twitter, you can put a random picture and that'll catch fire. And impressions on Twitter are humongous, because I don't know. I just feel like Twitter, the analytics are a little bit better, but when it comes to the FGC and actually esports in general, Twitter is the best place to be to get your word out.
Absolutely. It's harder to crack, but once you have, you're okay. Once you're in
right.
there, yeah.
It's very, very difficult to crack the Twitter code. I don't know why it is, but I feel like Instagram, the analytics are different, where it spreads easier, but Twitter is very hard.
I feel like Twitter is definitely more like American based, especially being a European person within the FGC, kind of. Like, it's very American based. It's very, everything sort of revolves around that, and there's not really that much for European fans as such, like, especially down when it comes down to things like giveaways. It's always like blah blah blah, enter our giveaway, USA only. I'm like, god damn it. Things like that. You can't, like, there's not really a lot, whereas like especially on Instagram, like, a lot of my demographic for especially Street Fighter Legacy is in the States, but then the other ones are like South America and like Emirates, like UAE. Like, they're like the two like massive FGC things, but they're not, you don't hear anything from them on Twitter. Like, I never see anything about South America really, or the UAE really on Twitter, but on Instagram they're all over it and they're quite vocal on there. I think that's their platform,
It's both, you mentioned both of those countries, or both of those areas of the world, and when it comes to, and if we're just talking about Street Fighter specifically,
oh god,
fighting games,
they are mad for Street Fighter. Like, people think that they're like crazy fans in the States. Like, no, they've got nothing on these guys. like Brazil and like Emirates. Like, I can absolutely see why they added like Rashid into the mix for 5, because their whole region was just like not represented, you know, and they're so influential and there's so much money there, you know, because there's like Abu Dhabi and Dubai and stuff. They're just such rich places that, you know, there's all these guys there with a lot of money from oil and whatever. They want to they want to spend it on cool shit.
They're gonna spend on cool stuff. I mean,
Exactly.
both of those. I mean, and in terms of both of those markets, it's a very interesting place because, you know, we've been talked to about, you know, why aren't you there yet?
Mm-hmm.
Well, guys, it's kind of hard. You know, we're still kind of a startup, but
Yeah.
The truth is, and I've talked to people from. It's very interesting, like a Capcom Cup, right? Pete, I think you saw this too. When we saw South America come up,
Oh my god. They were like, just give me one of everything.
they wanted one of everything
Or 2 of
because
everything. And they were like ringing their friends and taking photos of everything. And they were like, they've got this, they've got Guile, they've got this. How many should I get? 5? Okay, cool. And they just take everything. They're nuts.
They're crazy about our I mean, not just our product, any product, because they don't see it.
They don't get it. No. I mean, we're starting to get stuff in Europe now. Like, it's getting better here. Like, I feel like the world's getting a bit smaller in that respect. But for them, I mean, like, yeah, I think they're still really starved of stuff to buy, which is it's a shame, because there's a lot of money and a lot of untapped stuff there.
You know, the platform that we picked, and we're most known for our skateboards. We picked that platform because, quite frankly, like you said, not many people were doing it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our friends, you know, my own personal friends, are skaters, pro skaters. I am not, so I don't ride skateboards at all because, you know, I'm old and I'll probably break my hip if I fall off.
Yeah.
But we picked skateboards because at the time we just thought it was a cool platform that hadn't been explored yet.
Yeah.
It was a big enough palette, and being kind of on that urban, you know, hypebeast kind of trip, we wanted to see what would happen if we did it. And when we presented it to Long, we found, you know, he was like, oh, I could work with this. So that's how the whole skateboard platform, you know, blew up for us in terms of, you know, what makes us stand out versus, I mean, dude, you can go out to the internet and you'll find 1,000 companies doing shirts.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing hats, you know. Everyone's doing hats and shirts all day. Everyone can create a hat and shirt. But when it came to, you know, how do you stand out as a small business, we picked skateboards as one of those categories for us.
Absolutely. And it worked. It absolutely worked, because like people really sat up and took notice, and especially because you made them collectible. Like that was I think that really was, even though your main point of difference was they were skateboards, your real point of difference was they were collectible, laser engraved. Like there was only a certain amount of them. There only ever will be a certain amount of them. And, you know, so people were going after them. And I mean, still are. Like,
we've seen our products, I would say literally worldwide.
Oh, yeah.
You know, people have found a way, you know, to order them here in the United States and then figure out how to get them out of the United States.
Yeah. I've had people hit me up and be like, hey, how can I... They're like, can you get it when you're in Comic-Con or when you're at Evo with Nsurgo? Can you bring them back for me and then I'll pay you the shipping from Europe and stuff? And I'm like, no. My luggage is going to be way too heavy.
People forget that these things are heavy.
They're heavy. Yeah, I've lugged those boxes. I know, guys, they are heavy.
They're heavy and they're real. You know,
they're real.
The other question is, cool question people say is, you know, are these real skateboards? You know, you can't ride.
Oh yeah,
that.
I've got a few here. Like I came prepared. I came from my show and tell. I got out the original Ryu actually, because this one is still in the plastic. I haven't even taken it out of the plastic.
Wow.
Because I didn't want to.
What number did you get?
146. So there's 250 of each, and they are laser engraved. There you go. You can see there. number 146. So I've still got Chun-Li and Blanca and Ryu all in the original wrapping. I haven't.
Very nice.
I'm gonna sell them on eBay. Just kidding.
I might have to buy them back. We don't even have that many, in our own. I mean, what you guys see behind me, Zach, these are just samples, right? I mean, these are my own personal collection, but these are samples that they're mostly scratch and dent. I mean, these things have been photographed or thrown on the ground, or they fall over when we shoot them. So that's why these things stay kind of just lying around in the room.
They stay, yeah. It's good. You've got a little collection of them. And the infamous, let's touch on that while we're talking about the decks. Yeah. The infamous Blanca-chan, which I feel slightly personally responsible for that. Well, it was me and Justin Wong.
It was you. There's actually three major influencers that made it happen. It was you. I mean, let me back up for all the fans watching. Everyone who contributed, thank you. It was actually a very fun little project we did. It was you, Justin Wong was involved. We had PR Belrog. We had Gina Darling.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a bunch of people who when Blanca-chan was introduced, he was such a funny little character. Mm-hmm. And there was no merchandise. Absolutely none.
No.
I mean, other than Ono-san teasing the
plushie.
Mm-hmm. That was the only thing that was out there. When they did that Blanca-chan promo with the character, that really, I think that was that was actually the perfect story of how Blanca-chan was created, because it was truly just a promotion from Capcom on a newest character, and then we activated very, very quickly on it.
Yeah.
And
well, I mean, it was it was a joke.
It was a joke.
It was a joke tweet from me that went kind of wrong. But I'm so pleased it happened. I love Blanca-chan, and he's become kind of my, like Ono's mascot is Blanca. I feel like Blanca-chan's kind of my unofficial mascot now.
And he's he's fun.
I love him. I absolutely love him.
Oh, look at that! Look at those signatures you got there.
Yeah, I got Ono, and I got it signed by Long. I don't know if you can see. There we go. Oh yeah, he did a little doodle of it on there for me. So
very nice, nice.
So it was a really fun, and we got sort of a lot of people involved in the promo and everything for that, which was a lot of fun.
That was a very interesting project.
There's still a lot of videos that never actually saw the light of day, including my 98-year-old nanny Doris.
I'm responsible for that.
Saying, Blanca-chan, fuck yeah. I think I'll have to release it at some point because it is so perfect. She was like, and I've got a video of me directing her through Skype, my mum filming the video on her phone, and me saying, Nanny, okay, so look at your phone, look up, and say, Blanca-chan, fuck yeah. And she's like, what? She just didn't, and then she kept saying, she was saying Blanca-chan, fuck it, and I'm like, no, Blanca-chan, fuck yeah. She's so sweet, bless her. So I do have those videos. Maybe I'll tag them in. I'll put them on Instagram or something at some point. I'll have to bleep out the swear word though, because I promised her I would. I said you won't hear you saying fuck.
We'll figure. Maybe we'll do it for the 5-year anniversary video or something.
We have the bloopers.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
Yeah, but it was that was a really fun thing to work on with everybody, and
oh, totally.
Yeah, it was a real sort of community project that just went a bit crazy for a couple of months, and
no, it was really fun. I mean, Pete, with your help, we collected videos literally from around the world, and the idea of the commercial was that the promo was that it was recreating the story of how we actually got the project started, right?
Yeah.
So it was really fun. I mean, we had streamers, we had every walk of life: gamers, streamers, pros, your average Joe, your nanny,
my nanny Doris, my 98-year-old nanny Doris.
Yeah. I mean, we had everybody involved, right? And it was just kind of again capturing, what social media looks like today.
These days, yeah.
it's different. It's not your normal commercial on TV or your print ad. It's how uh, it's just a different way now.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, it's a different world. You've attended sort of many, many, many conventions. What is your sort of favorite one to, let's say, attend and participate in? If that.
mm, yeah, no, that makes sense. So participate in my favorite one is San Diego. Well, let me be careful there.
Hold up now.
Okay, I mean it depends who's watching this, right?
All
So
right, hang on. I'm gonna have to, it's gonna be like one of those new choose your own adventure things on
yeah,
Netflix. It's like Bandersnatch. Of like, if you want him to say San Diego Comic Con, press
yeah.
now. Press. If you want to hear him say Evo, press the button. If you say New York Comic Cons.
I will say. Okay, we're talking about conventions. I will say that my favorite convention, and I love all the conventions out there. So all you organizers out there, don't
He
judge me
loves
for
you
this.
all.
I love you guys all. Is probably New York Comic Con.
It's a really cool Comic Con. That was like my first big. Oh no, I suppose I went to San Diego Comic Con first as my big first stateside Comic Con, but the first one working for me was New York Comic Con, so it will always hold a special
Working
place in my heart.
working is New York Comic Con. The reason why I say working for in New York Comic Con, number one, the organizers are awesome.
Mm.
They really are. Um, you get in and out. I hate to say it, it has that New York hustle to it. So, everyone's there to help each other out. It's really cool to be there.
Yeah.
Again, you just get your job done, and if you're in somebody's way, just get out of their way. You know, because you're moving too
Move.
slow, and I love that. So New York Comic Con from as far as an exhibitor is
Hmm.
my favorite show. I love the fans at New York Comic Con. I love the attendees.
Yeah.
I love I just love everything about the East Coast, swag that they have when they're there. They're loud. They want to cut deals. It's
You
just
get a lot of
really cool.
hustling. Yeah, I remember that from New York Comic Con. Lots of people were trying to like hustle me. They were like, "Oh,
Yeah,
but what if I give you blah blah blah?" And I was like, "No, this is the price." They're
yeah.
like, "Yeah, but if I could get two for that," I'm like, "No, no, no, no. This is the price."
But New York is, and logistically, it's very very difficult for us, right? We're a California company, and then
Yeah.
travel to New York and stuff is not easy.
Mm.
Definitely a lot more planning, but New York is my favorite show to do because again, the organizers, the attendees, everything about it.
Yeah.
My favorite Comic Con to
Attend.
hang out
Hmm.
is probably okay. I'm gonna be very careful saying this. It's San Diego, but it's not inside the exhibit hall.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Just the
If you've been
city in general, like at that time, is so cool.
there, yeah, being in San Diego during San Diego Comic Con, guys, if you guys don't have badges and stuff, um, you don't really miss
You
out if you
don't
want to
need
feel
to.
the San Diego. You
Mm-mm.
can you can enjoy San Diego Comic Con outside of San Diego. I mean, outside of the convention hall. In the convention hall, you are pretty much treated like
Sheep.
cattle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They
It's
just
bad.
herd you around, and you just kind of
It's
look at things, and you give a bit of money, and then you walk on to the next place. That's the thing. Like the first time I went to San Diego Comic Con was at 2010, and
okay.
seeing it between 2010 and 2018, holy crap! Like there wasn't really anything around the city in 2010. It was literally
Yeah.
inside the exhibit hall, and that was it. Outside, like honestly, all the things that I wanted to do in Comic Con last year were outside. Like they had the really cool installation for the Taco Bell. They had
Oh yeah.
like yeah, that was awesome. Like they had a good place thing. I don't even know what it was. I walked past it every morning. I was like, that looks cool, but I don't know what it was. There was just things every. There was like a South Park thing. It was just
Yep.
everywhere, and it
There's
was
usually a Walking Dead like
yeah, yeah,
little
yeah.
thing to go through. Yeah, they do that every year. Like you don't have to be in Comic Con to enjoy Comic Con in San Diego,
No,
and if you go into San Diego Comic Con, I mean, I've been go I'm one of those guys who remembers the day where I could just walk up the stairs and buy a pass, right? And
yeah,
none
like
of
the
this
good old
none of this
days.
craziness. That doesn't happen. But anyway, at San Diego Comic Con, guys, it's I have fun. I see a lot of old friends. I see, it is the mecca of Comic Cons, right? It's the biggest and largest in the world.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool after parties. So from that perspective, I enjoy it because I get to socialize with a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it's just a fun place for me.
It was, yeah. I mean, it's a blast. Like every time I've been, I've had an amazing time. I've been tired.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm.
You definitely get tired.
Oh god, yeah. I was like, yeah. It was alright. I stayed with a very nice old lady called Pat last time.
I remember her.
Like ever, she was so sweet. She was lovely. I loved her. It was honestly, it was actually a really nice change of pace because it was so frantic down in the Gaslight District. Like it was nuts down there, and then I would go back to Pat's nice little home. It was like my nan's
Quiet.
home, and it was really quiet. I just like crash out for a couple of hours and then get up and do it all over again. So
I remember the first year I exhibited at San Diego Comic Con. I lived down in downtown San Diego, so I'd walk back, and I remember I would just enjoy the quiet. You know what I mean? Just everything is off. I'm not in the gas lamp. I'd walk home, and it was just nice to just relax.
Just relax, chill.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's yeah. I'm very excited to get back to San Diego Comic Con this year. If you see me there, come and find me. I will be there, I'm sure. I'll be handing out pins. I'll be giving out pins. I have special pins that I've got made to give out to my followers and stuff. So come and find me if you do that. And are you going to be exhibiting at San Diego Comic Con this year?
Yeah, we're gonna be there.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna be there. We got we're still talking about a few things. I know it's coming close to the day, but
It's coming real close now.
Coming real close.
I was literally like, oh my god, it's like in a couple of months. It's like really soon. Like
really soon.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
We're gonna be at San Diego Comic Con. It's gonna be exciting for all of us. We have a lot of I wouldn't say a lot, but we're definitely looking at what we're going to be selling there, and we've had some designs that we just can't wait to release, and more to come on that. I can't really talk about too much right now, but more to come on what's going to happen in San Diego. It'll be fun.
So there's going to be you're going to be doing the ye olde Comic Con exclusives, or
we'll have some exclusives at Comic Con. We're gonna last year we weren't at Comic Con at all, and that really, there was a lot of fans out there that were
they were looking for you. They honestly, because I was on Udon last year, and so many people came looking for you at Udon. They were like, "Where's Nsurgo?" I was like, "They're not here this year. They're going to be Evo, but we're not going to be here." So they were like, "Oh," and because now people sort of recognize me as sort of an extension of Nsurgo, people ask me questions. I'm like, I don't know. Like, where is he? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, we were, as disappointed as we were, getting into San Diego Comic Con is very, very, very difficult,
tough,
right?
yeah.
And we've had some partners out there who've recognized us as a young company that has helped us out, and unfortunately, last year that didn't happen. They made their tough decisions, and unfortunately, we weren't there. But because we're such good friends with and been good to the San Diego Comic Con crew. In terms of supporting them, they gave us a spot this year. So, see us at San Diego Comic Con.
See you there, kids.
It'll be fun.
Come and buy some cool shit.
Buy some cool shit. Just stay on top of our social media. We're starting to slowly, we're gonna start slowly teasing a few things out there. But yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Excellente. Is it gonna be? Well, just going on to that, is it just going to be... I mean, you're most famous for Street Fighter stuff, but is there going to be other stuff coming to... Is it going to be just Street Fighter, or is there going to be no Street Fighter? I mean, like, I don't know. Can you say anything about that, or is it just like...
It's definitely going to be Street Fighter. So we're going to celebrate a few things in Street Fighter. Again, we're targeting 2 shows, which would be San Diego Comic Con and New York Comic Con.
Okay.
We're undecided on Evo. I know there's some folks out there that I've talked to privately about us being an Evo, and I put out the possibility we might not show up this year as exhibitors, And it was a little it was it was funny because some people are like, how can we go to Evo without Nsurgo? And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I didn't know you guys realized that we were that big a part of it. But
Yeah.
still trying to make a decision on Evo if that's a show that we're going to continue to do.
Mm-hmm.
We love the organizers at Evo. Evo is an amazing event if you've never been before.
Yeah, it's a lot
Um,
of fun.
but there's definitely some conversations that are happening where you may see Insurgo there in a different capacity,
Mm-hmm.
as we're focusing more on that type of show for FGC. So we're starting to make different decisions on
Different
how we promote
decisions.
ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I know last year, well, I mean, I was with you guys for Evo, and we were actually sort of in charge of two booths, essentially, at that point, because you had all the Beast installation as well for all of the clothing range for Beast as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So we
There
were kind
was.
of like between two. We had the Insurgo booth and the Beast booth. I mean, like, how did the whole sort of Beast thing come around? Like, it kind of just sprung out of nowhere. I thought it was the coolest thing ever, but like, it just like popped out sort of nowhere, really. Well, from my perspective, like, I didn't expect it at all. I was really surprised, but it was an amazing surprise.
Yeah. With Beast. So when we talk about Beast, we talk about Daigo, right?
Yeah.
And we actually met with his team at Battlegrounds, Red Bull Battlegrounds,
Mm-hmm.
back in I think 2016.
Oh
Gosh.
wow.
So we met in 2016, I think was the date, and we met with him there. We met with his team out there, and they had talked about how do we start a merch line with Daigo.
Mm-hmm.
We took on that challenge, and part of that challenge was how do we create a brand that can resonate outside of just gaming, right? And
Yeah.
that was the logo. So we recreated the logo from scratch.
Mm-hmm. Who?
It was really important because the original logo was more of like a fan, I guess Twitter fan
Uh-huh.
logo or image. And the issue, it wasn't that it was an issue. I think it was a great homage to Daigo and what they were doing on Twitter and Twitch.
Yeah.
Uh, but we needed to have a logo that was versatile, that could be used on merchandise product, that could resonate outside of just FGC.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it's kind of like you look at any other brand like the Jordan brand and things like that, right?
Yeah.
You could see it. People wear it, and they might not even play basketball, right? You see
Exactly. Yeah.
tennis players are on the Jordan brand, right? So we wanted to do the same thing with Beast, and I think we executed fairly well considering the FGC and the size of the demographic is relatively small when you compare it to other games.
Mm-hmm.
And Daigo being the legend, we wanted to supplement what he's already been doing. So
Yeah.
um, in that case, we created a merch line around him, and I would say he's one of the few people out there that can carry his own weight to do it right now. So
Yeah.
yeah. Well, and then you have on the flip side, you have people like Justin Wong, right? Who started his own, and I don't know. It's a very interesting. The FGC and the space is very interesting right now.
Yeah, it is. I've seen a lot of them sort of like Justin. I've seen him he's just launched his clothing and everything
Over here.
range. Oh yeah, there you go. Repping the J Wong.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was like, wow, that's cool. Like, good for him. Like, it's definitely and I mean, I would definitely like pick up a t-shirt. I mean, I've got some of the Beast stuff myself, and I wear it, and a lot of people comment on it as well, which is a real
Yeah.
testament to the design, I think.
Exactly. When
People say, "Hey,
I
that's a cool hat," and I'm like, "Oh," and they're like, "What is it?" And then I'm like, "Oh, and they're like, "Oh, it's cool though." Like, they don't know anything about Daigo or who he is
yeah.
or his story or what a legend he is within the FGC, but they're like, "Oh, that's a cool hat."
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
it's definitely when you have a logo that could span, right? Like I've had so many people comment, I wear a hat or a T-shirt and it just says Beast across. They love it. They're like,
I
oh,
think
that's
the
really, really
name as
cool.
well really helps the brand.
Hmm.
Like the word beast, like
Yeah,
it resonates on a lot of different levels. People
right.
use that. They're like, oh, that. Oh, yeah. He's so like, oh, that person, like, when they do that, they're a beast. You know, like it's kind of cross-platform for a lot of people. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
Talking of the design of Nsurgo,
Yeah.
we can't go on for much longer without talking about Long, who has
Yeah.
been sort of fundamental in all of it. Really, I mean, take it away. Like, even down to the little. Oh, I'm pointing the wrong way. This guy here. You know, all of the chibis and all of the skateboard designs, the Beast logo. I'm like, he's done it all pretty much. I mean, even like this T-shirt here from Capcom Cup. I mean, how did working with Long sort of come about? How did you grab him and get him on board?
It was actually, it's not really a great story.
Oh. It's actually a really boring story, so screw you guys.
Yeah, there wasn't much to it. It was really funny. When we were organizing the company, I had one guy helping me out with, just kind of getting me, giving me advice.
Mm-hmm.
He had said he found an artist who'd be great for the project,
Mm-hmm.
and he said Long,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, great. It was actually there is one little funny tidbit to it. Like, I was like, cool, but I had never met this guy. I just knew that he was going to be part of it. At San Diego Comic-Con 2016, Nsurgo hadn't been launched yet. We were still finalizing our deal with Capcom and things like that. And I knew this guy named Long was going to be our artist, but I hadn't met him yet. So it was a lot of this I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working with another company out of Japan, and we were releasing some Metal Gear Solid figures, so the statuettes. And I did a pre-order, so Nsurgo was taking care of pre-orders and things like that. Well, part of that pre-order, this guy named Long pre-ordered from us.
Oh.
We didn't even know who we were. So when he came to go pick up his order, and pre-order, I was like, oh, here you go. I didn't know who he was. I don't even think he knew who I was. And then he picked it up, and then as he was walking away, this guy goes, that was Long's Bow, right? You're going to be your artist. And I'm like, oh, really? Like,
that's crazy.
So we had met without really. He was more of a customer. It was really weird. But there isn't really much of a story. I think Long, when we approached him about what the project was and things like that, he definitely has been a humongous part of the creative aspect of what we're doing, and we couldn't have done it without him, right? I mean, we couldn't be where we are today without his the look and the feel of what we're trying to accomplish here, and as we move towards different types of genres, where it's becoming more of a lifestyle play, I think it gives him a new challenge to look at that type of style too.
Absolutely.
And I think it's beneficial for all of us.
Yeah. So I've got my Sakura board here, which I was very happy you did Sakura, because if you don't know, Sakura is my favorite character. So how did the sketch thing start? Was that always like part of the plan, or did it just sort of organically happen?
Well, when it comes to artists, right? I think it's a little bit of both, right? When it comes to artists, and when you're dealing with collectibles, having something unique, when you're collecting something, having it signed, or even me, I have my own little sketchbook that I have that I bring to shows so that I can have an artist do a little doodle on it. It's very unique.
I so need to start doing that.
Yeah.
The amount of artist friends that I have, and I'm just like, damn, I could have got them to do a little thing.
It's so much fun to just flip through your book of your favorite artists, right? And they do something very personal.
Yeah.
I think that's what we captured here. Was it something that was planned? Not really. I think it was more looked at as, because all of us go to shows, we all go to Comic-Con, and we know that if an artist signs it or something like that, it feels like a more personal item.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, we've already personalized it with the laser engraving, but by having Long actually do a sketch, made it that much more, valuable to the guy purchasing it. But what we didn't know, and I didn't know this either, is that apparently Long is one of the fastest sketch artists in the world, or something like that.
Oh, dude, like watching him work, he's like insane. Like I've
Yeah,
never
so-
seen anybody. He's just like done. I'm like,
So when you see that and the number of boards that he can actually sign,
yeah,
I mean, it's like a factory, right? I mean, you've been to the shows where
Yeah.
it's like, okay, take off the shrink wrap,
yeah,
and then land, we start stacking them and things like that.
mm-hmm.
But anyone else, it would take him forever.
Yeah.
He could bust them out in literally a minute.
Oh yeah.
So-
like he's so quick. Like, and he's like, I was in awe. Like at New York Comic Con that first time when I saw him doing that, he would be like doing like his commissions and stuff. I'd be like, "Hey, Long, I've got a board for you today." He'd be like, "Okay, cool, done."
Yeah.
I was like, "There you go." I've barely had time to like make the change from the register and give it back to them, and he's like already finished. Like
He's already done.
Yeah,
It-
he's
it's
insane.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So, long answer to your question was that we as collectors always appreciate something that's more personal, and that's what we try to capture by having Long at the show.
Yeah.
We get a lot of questions too, like we'll have an order come in and they say, "Hey, can you please have the artist
Sign it.
sketch or sign?" Long is in another part of the state, and
Yeah.
if anyone does have a sketch or has it signed, that's pretty special.
You
I would
have
definitely
to-
hold on to those.
Well, I mean, like I've been at shows, like even last year at Comic Con. Well, two stories. Comic Con, people were like coming up with like stacks of boards that they'd bought online or from other shows that he hadn't attended, and they were like, "We know he's going to be there." So they would just be like, "Hi, here's 9 boards."
Are you serious?
Yeah, like people were like just like getting them, like there was crazy amounts. He was doing them all at Comic Con, and then the flip side, because he wasn't at Evo with us, everyone was coming up and be like, "Is Long here?" And I was like, "No, he's not attending Evo." They said, "Oh, I wanted it," and they would be there with their stack of boards, and we're like, "Sorry, he's not coming." They're like, "Would he not be here the whole time?" "No, he's getting married." It's like, oh.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was. I mean, it's crazy. Like, and the things like we've said, they're not light. They're not lightweight. These people are like lugging them around to get them signed.
They're very heavy. I mean they're one is easy to carry. One is like 3 pounds, but when you're carrying like 9,
Exactly.
and they're awkward to carry.
Yeah, they're not
Right.
like an easy shape. Like,
Yeah, then it becomes a real hassle to walk around. Imagine walking around a huge con with 3 or 4 skateboards. It becomes a problem, right? So fortunately, with us, we've been able to. We tell people they can leave them with us, to the end of the show, so it's easier for them. But they have to buy it at that moment because you saw it. They run out. We run out all the time.
yeah. Yeah,
We sell through very, very fast.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, have you got?" Yeah, no, sold out. I've got one right now. Do you want it? "Oh, I might come back later." 20 minutes
And
later,
then they
"I'll
come
come
back and
back."
it's gone.
You're like, "Oh, I'll take that thing." No, it's gone already. Oh,
Already gone.
I told you
Yeah,
at the time.
People don't believe me.
Yeah,
People don't believe me when I say it.
yeah. I always say that. Like, it's not like it happens on your booth. It happens when I'm with Udon. Like, so many times people were like, "Oh, have you got this T-shirt in this size?" "Yeah, I've got one right here. Do you want it?" "Oh, maybe later." Like Capcom Cup for these. Oh my god, the amount of people that I was like, "Take it now. If you want it, I have it in your size. Do you want it? Take it now." "Oh, I'll come back like a bit later." "Oh, okay, cool. Good luck."
They come back and it's
2
gone.
hours later. "Oh, I'll take that shirt now. Sold out now. Sorry." Oh, yeah. I told you
Yeah,
at
they
the
think
time.
we're making it up.
They think you're making it up. But there were times that I'd like show them the box. When we were getting down to like the last one of them, of everything, I'm like, "This is the last medium. This is the last large. Look at my box. It's empty." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, I'll come back. I'll come back." "Oh, yeah, cool. Good luck with that. Enjoy." Good luck buying it on eBay for 4 times the price next week.
Yeah.
When you still want it.
Very funny.
Yeah. So there's a bit of advice for everybody. If you see something and you think you might want it, and it's
Get
a
it.
con exclusive, get it when you see it, or pre-order it if you can. I know Udon do like a pre-order and stuff. So pre-order stuff. Are you going to be doing pre-orders for Comic Con?
Yeah, that's part of the plan. So we'll have announcements. I mean, we're coming up. Normally, something that our fans know about, that we normally do something special on Go Skate Day,
Yeah,
which so look it up, Google it. I'm not going to say what day it is, but normally we'll open things up on Go
on
Skate
Go
Day,
Skate Day.
um, and it helps
Hype.
support the skate community, which we also love and cherish. So we want to be part of that too. So Go
I
Skate
see.
Day is an important date.
I just on that as well. Like I've seen some. You share them sometimes on your social media and stuff, but you share some like amazing stories of some of the people that buy your boards. Like there was a kid that like he's got like one, and like I just loved seeing it, like because it kind of makes my heart break a little bit when I see them all torn up.
Oh
But then
yeah,
like there was one on your social media recently that it was like a kid, and it was a Zangief board, and he'd like written all the tricks that he'd learned on that board. He'd like sharpied it on, and I was like, that is so cool.
yeah.
Like that in itself is art, you know. Like you've got this kind of like half torn up like Longbow artwork behind, and then sharpied all over the top of it is like all these like tricks that this 8-year-old kid or however old he was had learned to do. It's really really cool. And I like seeing those stories when you share them, like on
Yeah,
your
there's
social media.
definitely it's really funny. There's definitely a human side to what we do here. The person that you're talking about, I've never met them personally.
Hmm.
They're up in Northern California, and I've never, I don't know how they get our skateboards, because I think they know somebody at Capcom. There's something going on there, which is totally fine with me
Hmm.
too. It's an Instagram account called Skating for Satori. So skating the number four Satori, Satori.
Okay.
Um, they started tagging us, and essentially, and I'm just going to read the description because I don't want to obliterate it either.
Hmm.
Um, this account, it's an Instagram account. It's called Justin's Journey, a living documentary of our family struggle with autism and family
That's
bonding
it.
through
I
skateboarding.
remember. Yeah.
Right, and I've been watching this account for quite some time, ever since they tagged us for the very first time,
Hmm.
and it's just this really cool documentary, like it describes, and um, they've been using, they have our Zangief. He did it to the Ryu deck also,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and as much as I hated posting up a destroyed skateboard that was, with the amazing art, and we talk about all this other stuff, um, it's the other side of it where it's, it's a real skateboard, and it's part of someone's life, right?
And
So
it's being used for what it is originally intended to
intended.
be used for, like as much as it's lovely to see things and they are pieces of art and they're hung on a wall, like to see a kid with autism getting so much joy out of it and
Yeah,
learning so much, it's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. And there was another story actually this past New York Comic Con. Um, we did a pink Chun-Li skateboard,
Ah, yeah.
and we released it a couple years ago, and
Hmm.
it was the goal of the skateboard was to raise awareness for breast cancer awareness.
Yeah.
We originally released it in New York Comic Con a couple years ago, and it was a great hit, great program. Appreciate everyone who supported it. And I remember one of our customers came up to me last year and said, you know, wanted to just thank you. And I was like, for what? They're like, the Pink Chun Li skateboard. She was like, because of you guys, and you raising awareness and things like that, I actually got myself checked out, and I'm not going to go into details of what she told me, but it was really, I never expected that necessarily, to
Hmm.
hear stories like that. But there are a lot of people who not only purchased it because of someone that there was a challenge in their life, or someone that they experienced it very closely,
Yeah.
but it was really cool to hear the stories, firsthand. And like I said, I never expected to hear them directly, but people started sharing with me pretty directly about their experiences with breast cancer. So
Yeah.
there's definitely a human element that we always try to incorporate with what we do, because
Yeah.
I think a lot of
Absolutely.
companies out there like us, I hate to say it, there's a lot of companies out there that are just in it for the money,
Hmm.
but there are some other companies out there that are pretty passionate about what it is to be, how it is to be involved in the community,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
So you look at, I mean, another company that we've worked with in the past, Information. I mean, those guys are really involved in their local communities. Yeah,
Yeah, we
and I
didn't even
really
touch on
love.
that information.
Yeah,
We'll get onto that.
but yeah, it's companies like that where you see the passion of what they do in the work that they do, and those guys at Information are just really amazing.
Yeah. I
So
mean, I love these hats, and I get so many. I mean, how did that come about? Like working with information. Like I had seen their brand online. Obviously, in the everyone thinks it says hi, but obviously it's like Hawaii. Like,
yep,
um, but I mean, like, how did that come about? Working with them, like,
it was it's actually was one of my goals when we first started. We were actually featured on Hypebeast.
uh-huh.
Uh, about 3 years ago, we were featured on Hypebeast. I actually, it's funny. I actually looked at that picture because we were tagged on it
Mm-hmm.
recently, and at the time, I think we had like, I don't know, like 400 or 500 followers, or whatever, and no one knew who we were, and
Mm-hmm.
we were just getting out there. And that picture alone, I looked at it recently, has like 22,000 likes to it.
Wow.
And now it's not probably, Hypebeast has, we all know how many millions of followers they have, or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But at 22,000 likes, I remember the moment it happened. All of a sudden, I started getting all these DMs and likes and follows. Like we instantly went up like 1,000 followers that
Wow.
day. And
It's amazing.
all these companies started hitting me up, like, "Hey, we want to collab. We want to collab." And the one that stood out to me the most was Information.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't Information themselves that came to us. It was a middleman that kind of played the part, saying, "Hey, I know someone who might be interested in you. Would you guys be willing to talk?" I've always been a fan of the Information as a company, and I was like, "Hell yeah, I'd love to talk to those guys. I'm a fan of their work. Hopefully,
I
they're a
mean,
fan
that
of our
sets them
work."
in good stead. If you like them already, and you're like, you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, let's do this.
So you know, again, not the most exciting story, but we started talking on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
We started talking. Long started getting on the calls with them, and then we just put the project together.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys are on point. Their planning and the professionalism and just everything about them
And the
is just
quality as
awesome.
well. Like, I love these hats. Like, they're such high quality. Like,
Yeah,
they're
yeah. I
really,
mean,
they're gorgeous. I really wish I had a Honda hat, but it sold out before. I have Sagat. I've got Sagat, and I love my
this
Sagat
is
one.
this is actually my only one that I even own personally. It was my mistake with Honda. I picked the numbers for Honda, and I picked a really low number in terms of the number we ordered,
Yeah,
and Honda sold out. I think we released all these at Evo. Honda sold out pretty much at Evo. It was gone, all of them.
I can imagine. It's the most
So
iconic stage, I would say, though.
yeah,
Like the bathhouse stage is like the
yeah,
one that I would say if I had to pick one, it would be that one. That one and
it is.
Sagat's. Like the chick, the
Yeah,
like, laying down. Like those two stages are like they're so iconic. Like and
yeah,
maybe Giles, but
yeah. Giles was, well. I think you remember I did that. I went on the military base and took a picture
oh,
with uh with an F-18 Hornet with the Guile deck. That was fun,
that
actually,
was fun. Yeah,
because I was trying to recreate that not necessarily the scene, but try to capture the theme.
the theme of it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's cool.
yeah.
Well, you're quite the avid photographer as well.
No, not really. I have fun. I have what I'll describe is I went to like a few classes, and when I see pictures being taken,
I've seen your
I
edits
don't,
though, and they're really good.
whether it's like food or product shots or scenery, I've seen a lot of shitty pictures out there.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll be honest with you. When I see like Instagram and stuff, I'm sorry, people. When I see bad pictures, I just hate them. And um, for me, especially when you're dealing with Instagram, I felt it's been really important to capture. You're trying your best out of a picture
hmm.
to capture the essence of the essence of the product. And I try to keep a theme to it, like whether I use like textured backgrounds, or like with Zangief, a brick wall,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Or like Guile, and I'll take a picture with an F-18 Hornet, or
yeah.
just anything. Like I'm trying to just not make it this boring picture on a white background or a black background. I'm really trying to capture some kind of theme and sense to the picture, because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, a lot of pictures out there are freaking boring to me. So that's kind
Yeah,
of the
but
truth.
you do really good edits as well. Like I love all your editing that you do. You know, like After Effecty kind of stuff. Like I've seen
Thank you.
the original photo, and then I've seen what you've done with it, and I was like, bam, that's good. That's good. Although
I
I was very proud of myself because you said take some because you had to dash out of Capcom Cup,
Yeah.
and you said grab me some photos. So I was like trying to like channel my inner Rob, and I was like behind like the camera, but the people were like looking at me like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like getting really close to the camera person, trying to like take it over their shoulder and like trying to emulate like what you do when you take photos. And you were like, oh yeah, these are pretty good. I was like, yes. I was so happy. I was like, oh my god, because I was so worried you're gonna be like, I can't do anything with this crap. But yeah,
Yeah,
I think I was
I mean,
even
when it
like sneaking up on like Alex Myers to like get his ears and stuff. I was like, stay where you are.
it's so funny, when it comes to again, I'm not a photographer by any sense of the stretch of the imagination, right? I do it purely out of fun, and um, quite frankly, selfishly, I know what I like, and I really don't care what other people think about my pictures. But um, when it comes to content, I think it's really important that folks pay attention to their content, and
Absolutely.
especially when you're running your business, it's like make the colors sharp, clean up the background, make sure you're trying to capture, things. Take a very simple YouTube class on product photography if you have to, just watch
Mm-hmm.
it really quick. But it's really important to capture the essence of the picture that you're trying to take, and um you'll be amazed, just like you said, a few edits here and there, you adjust the sharpness and saturation and the contrast, and the picture will just pop.
Yeah,
So yeah.
absolutely. I agree. One thing that really like burns my I was like, it burns my toast. But what I really don't like as well is when like say an artist draws a picture. I, and when I repost pictures, I always try to post them in the like as they originally are. I'll always
Yeah.
post the original picture as it's been drawn. But I've seen other people that run it through like loads of filters before they post it. And I'm like, dude, that's not how it's supposed to look, and that's not what the artist wanted.
Yeah.
Why are you doing that? I find it really disrespectful to the original artist, They
Yeah.
obviously think
Yeah.
like, oh, well, the colors weren't quite right in here, like I'm just always a bit like, they use like, Valencia filter on Instagram or something. It makes it like a bit sepia tone or something. I'm like,
Yeah.
don't do that. An
Yeah.
artist drew it a specific way for a reason. This is what they wanted. Don't, you're kind of misrepresenting them. So,
Yeah.
um, let's talk about the FGC a little bit. And your sort of involvement within the FGC. Like I've definitely seen from my personal viewpoint that grow over the last like few years. You becoming more heavily involved in the scene and everything, and like hanging out in the cool spots like Barcode. If you don't know Barcode, go and check those guys out. I'll give them a little shout out there. But yeah, like, do you want to talk about all that stuff, Wednesday night fights and
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
that
We
all
can
that
chat about it.
cool stuff?
Yeah. Number one, I'm not a pro.
Well, I love it. Me and you, everyone's like, I want to fight you on Street Fighter, and I'm like, yeah, right.
Have fun.
I'm like, you're gonna win.
Yeah, I laugh at how fast I die. I mean, how fast you'll take me out. I mean,
Exactly. I'm
you won't get
so
under my skin.
bad. I'm the worst Street Fighter player. Like, I always used to think I was pretty, like, compared to my friends, I'm good. And then, like, obviously you go international, and you're like,
Yeah.
I suck. That's why I was like, I learned real fast on online play that I'm not a good Street Fighter player.
Oh
So
my god.
I was
Well,
like, and I'm done.
With FGC, it's really funny. With FGC, it's been a very much. So I'm not a pro. No one on our staff is a pro, right?
Mm,
But we're recognized by the FGC for obvious reasons because of the fact that we create Street Fighter products. So
hmm.
there's definitely a lot of supporters out there for us.
Yeah.
Um, when it comes to interacting with them and being part of, I guess what you call the scene, I wouldn't say necessarily that Nsurgo is. We're there to help support the FGC and the community.
Yeah.
In terms
Absolutely.
of just the way the community, and we're there to help in any way, whether it's a team, whether it's a person, whether it's a customer, whether, a client or another official a licensed person, we're there to help with the community because the community is you know, um, what makes it what it is today.
Yeah.
And,
Absolutely.
when it comes to the FGC, it's like our involvement is just there for support,
Hmm.
right? If there's anyone there that needs help, if there's anyone there from, that, we have a company, new company called out there called Vitrix, right?
Yeah. I've
New
not
stick
really heard
company.
of them. Who are they? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
They're like everywhere right now, especially in the FGC. They're pushing hard. Like
pushing hard
they're like
and
everywhere.
yeah, and just like
You're are
them,
you? Hang on, turn your head to the side.
oh yeah, I got a headset,
There you go. Vitrix.
Vitrix headset. So with Vitrix, I mean, it's a seeing them and how they're influencing the FGC. We're there as we run into each other at SCR. We run into each other at shows,
Hmm.
and as we talk, within what we call the industry, um, we're there to help each other out and support. So, um, what I've seen with FGC, I think as far as a community, we talk about things like barcode. Barcode is what I have described as one man's man cave, honestly.
It is. It's very cool.
Very cool. It's one guy, his name is Rich.
I
Well, I
love
call him
him.
Rich, but
I love him.
Richard.
Ri-
He started a bar and he literally wanted to create a cool place for people to hang out.
yeah.
Not cool people, but people to hang out.
Yeah. But the
Right?
people that hang out there are pretty cool. I mean, I
Yeah.
think they're cool. I mean, maybe maybe it's not what is deemed cool, but it's what I would think is cool. So yeah, I don't care.
It's you know when I went to bar, he invited me to Barcode. He was a client of ours. Or, he
Hmm.
was a customer. He ordered something and something went wrong. So I was like, hey, where are you? Because I saw I was going to a business, and he's like, oh, I own Barcode, and I was like, oh, I can drop it off because he was using it for a prize for one of his tournaments.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, I'll be more than happy to support your tournament. Again, this is where we come in for community support.
Hmm.
And I was like, hey, we'll come by.
Yeah.
I'll come by and drop off the books. So I came by and I was like, oh my
Oh,
god, this
the
place is
Daigo books.
the Daigo books,
Yeah.
and I was like, this place is really dope. And we got to talking, and business owner to business owner, we started developing a relationship. Only for me to find out that I was also talking to Alex Valle that day on I was texting with him, only to find out that this was like the FGC industry hangout place.
Oh, there you go.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it went from, I mean, it's a normal bar, people. So if you're in Garden Grove, and you want to check out this cool bar, it's a completely normal place. The only twist to it, everyone has a twist. It doesn't have like, you won't see like the basketball game or football games on the screens. It's all console, so
It's
you
like
see
Smash,
video games, Smash and Street
Street
Fighter,
Fighter, Mortal
and
Kombat.
80s
Yeah.
movies, and all 80s movies playing. And
Yeah.
it's a bar, and it's one
It's
of the coolest
cool.
places to hang out. The lighting is cool, the people are cool.
The
Like
food's good.
the food's good, the people are chill. I
Yeah.
mean, you got guys who have, they're just button mashing on anything, and and
You
it's
can
just a
just go
fun
and play a
place.
game. You can just pick up a controller and just go. It's really super welcoming and fun. Like it's a really nice environment. They
You
did
see
a
his
great
collection
job.
of toys. He has a
Yeah.
collection of toys there. I mean, there's just so much to look at, and you don't even need to play video games. You could just sit there and have drinks with your friends,
Yeah,
right? I
it's
mean,
a cool bar
it's truly a bar.
regardless. Yeah.
Yeah. So, how that, when I think back, about the FGC, that's an example of someone who, not a pro, you know, but he's there to support the FGC by having a cool place for FGC folks to hang out. But it doesn't mean it's only FGC people. It's open to the public, so there's everybody coming in there, and it's very welcoming.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So then you have Wednesday night fights, which I would say is on the extreme. That is where you have what I would call SoCal's best prepping for tournament, right?
Yeah.
You have your Pinoys, your Commander Jessies, right? You have the real pros, JB and you know, just everybody's over there. And these guys are the Wednesday night fights guys who compete in, you know, these premieres and tournaments, and Alex Valle runs it, and that is that is that is the FGC right there.
Yeah, that's like pure hardcore stuff.
That's hardcore. Like I was there. I was actually there last week. Because they were doing something with Mortal Kombat, and they were doing a summit qualifier, and you have guys internationally going to Wednesday night fights just
to qualify
to train.
And train. Yeah,
train and like 2 weeks ago I was there again, and Mena RD was there, right? Former Capcom Cup world champion.
Yeah,
and he just shows up randomly. You know, he was there for something else
and just rolled up for it. Yeah,
he rolled up because he was in town, and this is where, you know, Taquito has battled there, Punk has battled there, you name it. Justin Long is anyone and everyone has been through Wednesday night fights.
Yeah, I saw I mean, it's as much as you say, like, it's pure FGC as well. I mean, like, it's definitely accessible to anybody from the FGC as well. Like, I saw recently that what's her name, Kitty Kaboom, the cosplayer, she had her birthday party there.
Yeah.
She was like, it's my birthday at Wednesday night fights. I was like, that's great. You know, like, even that side of the FGC is like appreciated and like welcome into that environment, you know, like that's fun, like that's cool. That's cool that sort of, you know, people can go, and I mean, like, I would go and be more than willing to watch, but I'm definitely not going to sit down and like go a few sets with Menard, you know, like.
Well, I mean, what I, you know, for anyone listening, right, and you're in SoCal or even at your local events, I think that as much as I don't go sit down and you know, it's just me. Like, I'm not going to go play against some of these hardcore Mortal Kombat or, you know, like Mena RD or JB and stuff like that. If your desire is to get better, and that's your passion to play better at a video game, go to your locals and start competing, because it's truly at a different level, and these communities and these individuals will help you get better. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
What I see a lot of is like someone may get bodied, right? Or it's a really close match. And what you see a lot of is after the match is done, they'll actually talk to each other and say, all right, what did I do wrong? Or this is what you should have done.
Yeah.
So you see people giving advice. Now, it's not every time, you know, you got some guys who are there to show off, but a lot of times you'll actually see the conversations. And I remember I was at the Barcode local, right? And no one knew who I was, and, you know, all the locals were there. And I remember I was playing, and it was really funny to see them coach the guy I was beating up on how to beat me, you know, because I was the stranger. But for me, it didn't. I was like, you guys don't even realize how bad I am. But, you know,
you're like, this is pure fluke right now. Let me have my goddamn wins.
And it was very interesting how they were coaching each other. And if you go to Wednesday night fights or any local, get into the scene, support your local scenes.
Support your locals.
Yeah, that's where a lot of your learning will come from, and you'll make some great friends. I mean, I just think it's a fun and safe place to hang out.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, support your locals. I see a lot of that going around. It's sort of like a hot buzz thing on Twitter and everything. You know, everyone's really like support your locals, but it's definitely. I think it definitely rings true. It's I
think a lot of it comes from I mean, a lot of people are trying to rip a page out of the Smash community.
Yeah.
I mean, there's hands down, and hats off to everyone who's part of the Smash community. You guys are, I don't know, you've set the bar on what FGC is Smash considered FGC?
I guess I would say Smash is FGC. I mean, a lot of there would be people out there that would probably completely disagree with me, but they were like, well, Smash is a party game, Smash is this, Smash is that. But For me, I would say definitely Smash is FGC. I mean, especially when you've got a lot of people who bridge the gap playing it at a really high level now, you know, especially with Ultimate when that came out. Like, it's gonna,
Smash.
I'm going to be interested to see Evo this year with Ultimate.
Well, the Smash. I'll say this about the Smash community: it is the one. It is by definition what a community should be about.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
They don't have any. They don't have any sponsorship from Nintendo.
No.
Community organizers are the fans, right?
Exactly.
Everything. I mean, it's truly amazing. You look at. I mean, come on, guys. You got guys carrying around these old CRT TVs.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, seriously. I
You
mean,
see them
that
lugging
right
them
there,
around. You're like, oh my god.
I'm just like, what are these guys doing? But they must love what
The
they're
passion,
doing.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's a
it's
level
crazy, right? So
a level
the
of
Smash
passion there,
community,
definitely.
hats off to you guys. You guys are amazing. I can't say that I know anything about it because I'm a horrible Smash player.
Me too.
I'm so bad. I have fun, but again,
Yeah.
hats off to that community.
It's-
Seriously, it's amazing.
I think as well, like especially for like Smash, like the difference for me between like playing Smash online and playing like Street Fighter online is that like I'll get bodied like hard on Smash online, but I don't feel salty about it at the end. You know?
Oh no.
I'm just like, oh, I had fun. It was funny. Oh my god, did you see that? Oh, that was funny. Like, oh, that was hilarious when that happened. Whereas like with Street Fighter, it's like, you know, you're just getting pummeled in the corner and you can't even stand up, and then you're just like, oh, well, the match is over, and like, okay,
Yeah.
get good,
Have
you know.
have you played Mortal Kombat yet?
I haven't. I have not played Mortal Kombat yet. I've watched other people play, but I haven't actually picked it up yet. Going on then, you have had a small foray into, is that the right word? Is that even a word? I don't even know what I'm saying. You've started dipping your toes into creating content yourself for things like Twitch. We've done some things together on Twitch.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like what attracted you to sort of getting involved with like the Twitch community and starting to do streaming and things?
You know, I think for us as a company, you know, Nsurgo, I don't know.
It was just
who can
fun.
stop me?
Yeah.
It was just fun. I mean, you know, Twitch. Okay, so the Twitch community, I think, is I mean, let's face it. When it comes to esports in general, let's not even talk FGC.
Yeah.
Twitch is, and I'm purely talking from a business sense.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a game and you have a product, right, and you're trying to sell that product,
Yeah.
from a marketing perspective, if I have every single, you know, if I have 10,000 people that are watching, I'll use Smash or Nintendo as an example since I don't have that license anyway.
Yeah.
If you have 10,000 of those guys sitting in a room and, you know, you talk about your product that you're creating for Nintendo,
Yeah.
that's kind of an easy sell. You're talking to your consumer right there, your
Mhm.
demographic. If I put an ad out on the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
1% of the people will care about what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's
Mm-hmm.
So for us, we looked at Twitch as an opportunity to get into those direct markets and communicate directly and send our messages to those folks.
Sure.
Also, because it's a community, I feel it's very important to show that we're not just a bunch of guys that sit in a cluttered room like this and just sitting there doing designs all day. That we're actually part of the community.
Exactly.
We get information from people, we get feedback. I hear all the time, where's my Dulcin board? Where's my Vega board? I hear, but see, it's things like that. Like Karin was out of the norm when we made that deck.
Yeah.
Blanca-chan was out of the norm. Again, community, right?
Yeah.
And the Twitch community is strong and is, what I would say, as strong as big as it is right now,
Mm-hmm.
and continuing to grow. I think it's important for companies to extend and become part of the community in that grassroots marketing fashion.
Yeah.
When
Well, I
you
mean,
look at,
you've definitely seen. I've definitely seen a shift in that respect. Like things with like Kombat Cast,
Yeah.
the Capcom. what is it called, Capcom Connects, that they started doing. They've really started reaching out on that personal level, which is, it's really cool to see massive companies doing that, you know? And I think they're definitely taking the lead from smaller companies like you guys that are doing that as well, you know?
Yeah, it's funny because you have some companies that, I'll look at a company, I'm like, oh man, they're on Twitch, that's really cool, but they're not doing anything with it. Like, I'll give you probably one example. As far as my own personal interest, I've been looking for a Twitch channel on how to use Adobe products.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, how cool would it be if Adobe had their own channel and they showed some of their featured designers using tutorials and stuff like that?
Exactly.
I would sit there and watch that all day.
Yeah, now, exactly.
Maybe I'm the one person that would watch it, and I'd probably subscribe to them. But
you're like, I need that damn emote.
But imagine if let's say I'm just up and coming as a designer, and I had to choose between Adobe and, I don't know, bad example, CorelDRAW or something like that, or something else, right?
Yeah.
If I saw Adobe showing off how to use Lightroom all day,
exactly.
I would watch that every day. If I saw Sony, because of, again, personal interest, I saw Sony with their newest cameras out there, and I saw some dude doing a photo shoot, I think that would be so sick.
Yeah.
So
I feel that's I feel like that's kind of an untapped thing that's gonna start to happen a little bit more on Twitch. Like, I feel like we're gonna see a shift into that kind of thing. I mean, at the moment it's kind of just loads of people doing ASMR going, do you like that when I talk? It's like kind of all this.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of gaming, but there are some people starting to do, like, sometimes I end up in these weird Twitch holes, like YouTube holes where you like keep clicking and you end up on some random, and you're like, how the hell did I end up watching somebody like polish nails? You're like, what the hell, or like do really random things. But I ended up watching a woman, and she was just doing like life coaching. That was her channel. She would sit there and she'd give people advice. Like,
no,
it was really cool. Like
I would love to do my own personal channel on just because I get a lot of questions, right? I get a lot of questions. Hey, how did you end up making this shirt? Where do I go to do this? Do I need to get a lawyer for this or that, or just personal life coaching? Like, I would love to do a channel like that, or just even behind the scenes. And I think I'm big on that. It's like we go Instagram live and we show like the show before it starts, or us moving boxes or setting up the booth. I think there's people who want to see what it takes to sit in traffic for 4 hours, right? I mean, I remember I did that with a cosplayer, Linda, and we just sat there. We were waiting to load up the truck, and I think we sat there for 45 minutes just talking to our fans, like, hey, we're sitting in the car.
I watched that stream.
Yeah, it was boring as hell.
It was great though. I loved it. I missed your food streams.
Yeah, that
I missed the sitting down and eating Japanese food. Like, I used to love those streams, and I got to do one once, and I was so like, that was like one of the highlights of my life. I was like so happy that I got to be on one of your food streams. I sat down, ate the delicious food, and talked to all the fans. That was like highlight for me. I was like,
but see, that one. So guys, that was on Twitch. That one actually is a little bit. I think I kind of crossed the line there, because that had nothing to do with the company, right? I mean, that was very, very personal, and I've actually taken those down. But it seemed like there's a real desire to see more of that. Like, I've gotten a lot of questions like, why haven't I done those in a long time?
But the thing is, I know you said that it's got nothing to do with the company, but in a way, it only benefits your company because it makes the company more personable. In my opinion, like, I would say, like, it makes, like you said, it makes you a human who likes, because you would still talk about things like, oh yeah, we've got some designs coming up, oh yeah, we're working on this right now, oh, we're going to do an installation for blah 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 blah. Like, it wasn't always completely off topic. I mean, sometimes it was, but
Yeah, especially with who, it depended on who
it
was
depended
on
on
that.
who your guest was,
Yeah.
who you were eating with that day. But it showed you as a person and not just a faceless company,
Yeah.
which I really appreciate, and I think a lot of the Insurgo fans appreciate. A lot
There was
of
definitely.
a
No, I'm
lot
sorry.
yeah, a lot of your demographic these collectors, and they like to support you as much as they like to, like, especially you have all these like Twitch streamers and YouTubers and stuff. Like, in a way, I know you like to hide behind Insurgo sometimes, but
Mhm.
in the last couple of years, I've seen, you've become the face of Insurgo, and people look for you now. They'll come and be like, "Where's Rob? Is Rob coming? Is Rob going to be at the show? Oh, like, if you're not at the booth at the time, I'd be like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, he's here. He's just gone to go and get some food, or oh, he's just gone to mail something out, or
Go get some food. Go figure.
Uber Eats.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing. I think there's definitely, there's people that come back because of, which is a testament to you. They come back because of you as much as your product, because they like to
I and
support you as well
and
as.
I've heard that a lot, and I do appreciate that. I mean, it's being part of Insurgo definitely. Being what I'd say, and I've had this conversation with you. I've looked at who's going to be the face of the company and the image of the company, and um, I think naturally over time as we've grown and we've started to hit different markets, I've had to do podcasts, or I've done, I've been in events, and I've spoken in front of a lot of people and things like that.
Hmm.
It uh, I knew for a long time I couldn't avoid it, and it's not
You
like I tried to.
tried very
I did
hard,
try. I
and you
tried very
threw
hard,
me under the bus a few times and said, "Go and do this." Like, Evo, you're good at speaking in front of people. Here, have this microphone. Go and stand up there.
Yeah, but you love that kind of stuff.
I did. I loved it. I was like, "Hello, Evo! Yeah!" I was living my best life.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I don't know. When it comes to, I know what you're saying, and I try to capture the personal side of what Insurgo is, right? I mean,
Yeah.
there's definitely like there's the stories. There's so many stories behind with the company, and
Hmm.
when it came to like me sitting in the car with Linda and we're just talking to our fans, or um, us, it's funny because one person was like, it was really cool just to see you and this other guy sitting at a bar, and just talking because it felt like the people were there with us. Like
Yeah.
we were just sitting there talking
Absolutely.
about random stuff, and it
Hmm.
it wasn't for me. I thought people like I said, I really don't care what other people think. We just wanted to go on Twitch and test the waters, and if people don't like it, they don't have to watch,
Exactly.
right? I mean that's what Twitch is about, and we got a lot of feedback. They were like, "Yo, when you sit with Leia and you guys are sitting there eating Japanese food and talking about her relationship problems, it's hilarious, you know."
Yeah, it's really funny. Like, I.
And then we get like the restaurant people getting involved, and it becomes this game.
Well, that's the thing, like, because I'd seen so many of those streams, I like recognized the servers. Like, I was like,
Yeah,
"Hey!" And they're like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "Hey!" How are you?" Like, I recognized them because I'd seen them so many times. Like, it's cool. Like, it's an unusual thing for a company to do, but I personally, I really appreciate it. I think
maybe you know what? Maybe we'll pick it up
bring
again.
it back.
Maybe we'll pick it up. I mean,
That's great.
cool. What else?
What's next? We've done some tournaments together, which were a lot of fun. I was just gonna say, when's our next tournament? That
I don't know,
we've done
buddy.
some we've
When
done
is it?
some Twitch tournaments, which have been hella fun. I can't believe I just
Hella
said
fun.
hella. Just you.
Um,
What is this? 1995. It's like hella fun.
what what do you think? What do people want to play?
I don't know. I guess Mortal Kombat right now, but I don't know. I
Uh,
don't know how it would work. Like, I don't know the. I mean, you're Mortal Kombat guy. Like, I've never even picked up the new one, so I have no
Let
idea.
me
Like, can
let
you
me
even
find.
do battle lounges or anything in there? Like,
Yeah, you can. You could do. I think you could
could you
do
do
that. I
King
mean,
of the Hill? Would it work the same?
they actually have a King of the Hill feature.
Bruh. I
Yeah,
guess
but I
Mortal
think
Kombat would be fun. But I mean, like, then the thing is like, what? Because, I mean, you always graciously give a Street Fighter skateboard deck as the prize. It'd be a bit weird giving a Street Fighter skateboard deck as a
yeah,
Mortal
to
Kombat
Mortal Kombat.
prize. It's a bit.
I think we could talk about it offline, right? I mean, part of
Yeah.
it, in terms of prizes, maybe we can get some other companies involved.
Yeah, absolutely. We
I
could.
don't know. Maybe we can get some other companies involved, guys.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. We'll see if we can pull some strings somewhere for that. We've kind of gone through all the questions that I had for you, but dun dun dun, I'm gonna do my
Uh-oh.
quick fire round.
Oh Jesus! You didn't even warn me about this.
I didn't. I don't because
No.
I don't warn people because I don't want people to be too prepared. So
Okay, let me,
this is the quick fire.
All right,
Okay.
let me focus here.
Focus. Favorite color.
Okay. Black.
Describe yourself in a hashtag.
Be original.
Best advice you'd give to your teenage self.
Wow, I've actually been asked this before. Listen to your mom.
Listen to your mom. Good one. Favorite app.
Instagram.
Favorite video game of all time.
Oh wow, favorite video game of all time.
Of
All
all
time.
time. All time. Like
Oh my
Desert
God.
Island discs. Like you've got one you can take, and all the others are trash. Like they're all
all
basically
time.
all of the other ones are going to end up on Justin Wong's trash tier.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna say this, and it's probably nothing you've ever guessed. It's gonna be Nintendo. It is Nintendo. Legend of Zelda.
I'm surprised.
I'm sure. I'm sure you're very surprised that I would even say that. The reason why is because I loved that game as a kid.
Uh-huh.
Like when I was playing it, and I couldn't stop playing it.
Yeah. Did you play Breath
Like,
of the Wild?
No, I hated that game.
What? Get out! This podcast is over.
No, I hated that game. And I remember-
You're on Justin Wong's trash tier now for me. You're
Yeah,
done.
I'm on the trash
You're
tier.
done.
I remember kids would actually call me. This is before the internet, right?
Mm-hmm.
They would call me, and I would walk them through off the top of my head how to get to Ganon.
Oh really? That's awesome.
I mean, I played it that much. I played it so much, and I love that game.
Okay, right. Continue on. Favorite movie of all time.
Of all time, real quick, it would be Star Wars:
Cool.
A New Hope.
A New Hope. Good.
Yeah.
Favorite. Yeah. I was like, not episode 1. I was like, who are you? Who are you? Trash tier. Trash tier.
Cash tier.
Favorite anime of all time.
Favorite anime of all time. Akira.
Akira. Good
Yeah.
choice. I think that's the first one that I really sat down and watched.
Yeah.
Like had on like a VHS for me.
It was amazing.
Favorite music of all time. Like favorite
genre or
band.
song?
Band or yeah.
Ugh, I have to say it out loud. New Order.
Just say something cool.
No, I just said it's New Order. I mean,
New
now
Order,
I'm
that's
serious.
cool.
I'm really dating. I mean, God, man, those guys are they retired yet? I mean,
I don't know. I think they're
so
still
bad.
going. New Order are cool. What are you listening to right now? What is your like hot track or like
album or a song?
or album? Yeah, like or singer or whoever. Like what is like on the playlist? What's on Spotify?
Oh my God, I'm gonna actually. It's funny. I'm gonna say it. You guys have never heard of this guy, or maybe you have. You probably haven't. It's a guy named. I mean, literally, it's like right here. It's Jonas Blue.
Jonas Blue. Okay.
Have you heard of this guy?
Yeah, I've heard the name.
I don't know. It's kind of like elevator music song. Like if you're sitting in the dentist chair and they want to relax you, it's that kind of music.
Is that kind of thing?
Jonas Blue Essentials if you're on iTunes and you feel like getting a root canal. I mean, that's what they're gonna play while you're. I swear to God, that's what I think of when I listen to this guy. Yeah, and you hear this guy singing about, I don't know,
Perfect.
random stuff.
That is perfect. What is the best dish that you can make?
Probably something I've been trying to perfect, but I feel like it's almost there. Is my chicken katsu?
The chicken. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. We're gonna switch it up.
Okay.
This is one must go. This is just for this question, but Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat?
I have to pick one that.
Yeah. One.
Goes,
The other
or...
one's just like it's gone. It's gone forever. Just pick it.
Shit. You're messing with me here.
I know. I've added this question in specifically for you because I knew it would mess with you.
One must go. Like, I would never be able to play the game.
Yeah,
ever
it's
again.
gone. Like, it doesn't even exist anymore. It's just like gone. It got Thanos away. You know, like it's done.
Oh my god, this is like one of the hardest questions I've ever
Sophie's choice, right? You're like, my children. Which one? I mean, it's easy for me, but I know it's really hard for you.
I have to answer this, huh?
You have to, yeah. I'm not going to let you get away with it. You have to. You can't even weasel out of it. It's just this or that. This podcast can be like 7 hours long of just you waiting for you to answer. She's like,
like it would disappear.
Huh?
It
Yeah.
would totally disappear.
It'd be gone. You would have to do the Thanos and it's gone. Click. Doesn't exist anymore.
Oh my god.
This is going to be the clip that I'm posting, by the way, on social media.
So and you know,
just you deliberating, like.
You know how much both games mean to me, right?
I know. That's why I was like, this is going to be the hardest one. I should have saved this for the last question, but it's kind of in the middle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
If one must go, I'm gonna say
one must be victorious.
I have to say Mortal Kombat will have to go.
Oh, I'm surprised. I thought you were gonna say Street Fighter.
Yeah, you know, and it's not because of business. I feel like Street Fighter has always been the cornerstone of what fighting games is about, right?
Uh-huh.
And you know, people could say what they want about you know, Street Fighter V and how it's not a good game.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the big but when it comes to that. You could have been playing Street Fighter since, you know, Street Fighter 2.
Uh-huh.
You could still do a fireball. You could still, you know, you could still do the DP and everything else, right?
Yeah.
Even in Street Fighter V.
Yeah.
With Mortal Kombat, I'm overanalyzing this, but with Mortal Kombat, when I picked up Mortal Kombat X, it was a completely different game.
Yeah.
You know,
you feel lost.
I felt really lost, and you know, I honestly don't like Mortal Kombat X. Mortal Kombat 11, I've had to relearn the game. Like, I've had to sit down and go through tutorials and do this and that.
Yeah. I've seen. I was like, I mean, I'm not as familiar with the Mortal Kombat series, but even for me, I was like, whoa, this looks like way different, like,
yeah,
than what people are used to.
So I think from play, you know, for me just to pick up a game and just have fun, I could probably button mash and, you know, have fun with Street Fighter, you know, whatever version I come out with. But with Mortal Kombat, I didn't play Mortal Kombat for a very long time.
Uh-huh.
So I can't say that I missed it necessarily. With Street Fighter, I actually kind of missed it when I didn't play it. So
yeah,
you know, I had my memories with Mortal Kombat, but it's okay.
Right, something underrated that you love.
Something underrated that I love.
Yeah.
Something underrated that I love. My Toyota Prius.
It's underrated.
Yeah, people hate that thing.
If you weren't working for Nsurgo and stuff, what would you be doing?
I think I would like to be a physical therapist.
Hmm.
it's boring. I know it sounds
There
boring.
you go. Physical therapy. Okay. Sorry. What's the best piece of advice you've received?
The best piece of advice I've received. I've actually received a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I would say okay, so this is actually one that I still use today, and I think it's important. God, I'm not as cool as probably your other guests, but I think it comes. I think where it comes from is a place, and I think all of us deal with it. You know, when it comes to being overwhelmed with stress and life stressors and things that are happening all around you.
Yeah.
I think the best piece of advice I've ever received when I felt like the walls were coming down around me, and I don't want to say it was that I was in a sense of desperation. I never got to that point, but I think that the best piece of advice I've ever received when it comes to life in general and dealing with stress is, focus on tasks 10 minutes ahead of you.
Yeah.
So if you can't focus sometimes it's a struggle when you have your office task list and you look at all these things you got to do today. You got to pay the bills, you got to finish this report, you got to move this stuff. You look at all that stuff, it can be really overwhelming. And I remember I texted somebody that I used to work with, an old manager of mine, on one of my former jobs, and I said, dude, how do I get through this? And he was a former Army Green Beret or something like that, right? This guy saw death, like it's like in the movie, if you don't trust the guy next to you, you'll die or whatever like that.
Yeah.
So when I was talking to him, and I keep in touch with a lot of these guys, I was talking to him, and now I consider him my friend. I said, how do I deal with all this stuff in my life? And he said, take a deep breath and just focus on the task 10 minutes ahead of you. And as you'll find, as you complete each task, you're getting through the day.
Perfect.
So I think when it comes to life, guys, and you're dealing with a lot of things that you think you're going to drown, just focus what's in front of you and finish it. Don't let it sit. Finish it and then move on to the next. So.
Excellent. What is the last text that you sent?
Oh shoot! Are you serious?
If it's bad, then
yeah, I'm gonna look at it.
Yeah. All right. So you could just say undisclosed if you want. You don't have to tell me who it's to.
The last text that I sent, and I could actually say it because it's kind of funny. It was, what is your last name?
Okay.
It was to Mikhail.
Oh yeah, because he's not actually Mikhail Casanova. Shout out to Mikhail Casanova Podcast. Yeah. Number one in Hawaii podcast. My mentor, my podcast mentor. Now part of Team Nsurgo.
Now part of Team Nsurgo. I needed his last name because I'm shipping stuff out to him, and I thought it'd be weird if I said Casanova on it, so I wanted his real last name.
I was like, I asked him the same question when he had me on. I was like, is your real last name Casanova? He's like, no. I was like, okay. Do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah.
Yeah? You don't have to go any deeper than that.
I've never seen one, but...
Have you not?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. What is the last TV show you binged?
Oh, Cobra Kai, season 2.
Very nice. I haven't seen that. Marvel or DC?
Oh God, Marvel.
What superpower would you want to have?
What superpower would I want to have?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'll be. Well, is being smart a superpower?
Yeah. I guess.
I want to be super smart, I guess.
Okay. You are You are smart.
Smart.
Who is your celebrity crush?
My celebrity crush.
Yeah.
I've had a few. I would say. Who is that girl? See, I don't even know their names. Who is that girl in? Who's the girl in Devil Wears Prada? See, I don't even know their names.
I'm assuming you mean the young one. Not
Not the
Meryl.
old one.
Not Meryl Streep. Is it Meryl Streep? Yeah, it's Meryl Streep.
No, she's not my celebrity crush.
Not Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep. You hear it here first on the Petefighter Podcast. Rob, celebrity crush, is Meryl Streep.
No, it's not Meryl. It's definitely not Meryl Streep. What's her name?
Oh, Anne Hathaway.
Yes, she was.
Anne
she's
Hathaway. She's beautiful, yeah, and she's very talented.
Before it was Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh, are you talking like Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer?
Dude, see, you know exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah, she's stunning. Or like the Baker Boys, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, Fabulous Baker
Fabulous Baker Boys, Michelle Pfeiffer. Grease 2, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah. But definitely Michelle Pfeiffer, Catwoman.
Catwoman. Oh yeah, it's stunning. Yeah, she's beautiful. Yeah, I mean she's still gorgeous now. You see her now, and she's still beautiful. Like, I don't think she really ages, which is a bit scary, but you know. Because I'm looking at myself aging. I'm like, I know how old I am, and I remember you were definitely an adult when I was a child.
Yes.
So. Yeah, how old are you, woman? It's kind of a bit scary, but Michelle Pfeiffer, I'm with you on that one. What's your favorite animal?
Owl.
Cool. Owls are cool. Do you believe in aliens?
Yeah, I'll say yes.
Okay. Chicken or beef?
Beef.
Favorite season?
Fall.
What's your favorite board game?
Monopoly.
What's your current obsession?
My current obsession right now, probably photography.
That's cool. Your favorite movie quote?
Oh God! See, you're asking me my favorite movie quote. I can't even repeat it.
Oh, is it?
No, it's nothing bad.
I'm like, what kind of movie is it from?
Now I remember. I'm just trying to like replay it. I love who's the name of the actor in Gladiator?
Russell Crowe.
I love Russell Crowe when he was screaming, "Are you entertained?"
Okay, are you entertained?
I don't know. There's something about that
yeah, it's a classic. It's a good one.
It's a classic.
Disney or DreamWorks?
Disney.
Okay, and finally, your favorite fictional character.
My
from anything. You can be book, movie, anime, game, whatever. The best.
My favorite, I'm gonna actually like look up because I probably have something here. My favorite fictional character ever is probably Spider-Man. Yeah.
There he is. Yeah, I love Spidey too. Spidey's one of my favorite all-time faves.
Specifically, Amazing Spider-Man, Jack Kirby. Right. I mean, again, I'm dating myself, but there was a time when I was a huge Marvel head, and Spider-Man was just like,
God, yeah.
I gobbled up anything Spider-Man.
Did you see Spider-Verse?
No.
No. Why are you still talking to me? Go and watch it right now. It's amazing.
Well, here's my deal with it. Like when the movie started coming out, like the one with Toby.
Yeah.
I couldn't. As a purist, I was just like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
You know, like I struggled with it, and it's a problem that I had, and I have learned to let go a little bit. Like, you know, as a purist with comic books, so many stories are screwed up, and then if you stick too strongly to it, it ruins your experience, right? So
yeah,
you know, for me, I've learned to let go, but I haven't watched any of the more recent Spider-Man stuff because I love him so much as a character.
Yeah,
and the stories that I remember.
I think you would really enjoy the Spider-Verse movie.
Okay.
I would recommend that one. I mean, it won the Academy Award. I mean, it's a fantastic movie. Like, it's really good. They did a really good job on it. And it's funny and, like, you know, it really crosses all of the different Spider-Verse, you know? Like, they have Spider-Gwen and they're all interacting together. They've got Peter Parker and everyone's interacting together in one thing. It's really cool. They did a really good job on it. I thought it was fab. I loved it.
Yeah, Spider-Man's my favorite fictional character.
Yeah. That's it. That was my last question for you.
Yeah, well,
that was.
If you asked me that Mortal Kombat Street Fighter one last, I would have been like, oh my god. That one was easy.
That's quite good that I went with that one in the middle then. Well, thank you. Anything you want to say before we wrap up? Because this is the longest podcast so far. Miss Bumba was Miss Bumba was 2.5 hours, and this is 3 hours. So
you might have to break this one up into part 1 and
part 1, part 2. Nah, we'll just do it all in one shebang. It's fine.
Okay. Parting words. I appreciate everything you've done, Pete. I mean, Street Fighter Legacy, seen a lot of success there. Congratulations to that.
Well, congrats to you.
Really seeing some of those cool projects you do with the fan art, those books. I mean, you're really blazing some new trails there. As far as Nsurgo and the company, we've been a little bit quiet for the past, I would say like 12 months or so, but
you'll be back with vengeance.
We'll be back with vengeance. So just like the Sith, right?
Yeah.
There's always a teacher and a student. We're coming back. We're gonna come back strong.
It's time.
It's time. So we definitely are here to make some more noise. We've got some really cool companies that we haven't announced that we are actually talking to. Some pretty exciting stuff out there.
I think I know some of them, but I can't talk about them right now.
Yeah, you can't talk about it.
I love having the secrets. People are like, "Do you know anything?" I'm like, "No, no."
You can't talk about it.
I can't talk about it.
But yeah, it's been for anybody out there looking to, I would say, like start a company or start a business, or start a brand. It's easy. Just go out there. You just got to do all the work and just stay consistent.
It's a grind, but it's doable.
Yeah.
It is indeed.
Don't binge watch Game of Thrones because you'll never.
Just watch the last season.
Just watch the last season. You'll be good.
Just watch the black episode, black screen episode. You're good. That's fine.
You're good. That's the whole movie right there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you so much. I will be dropping all of the links to Nsurgo and all of your channels in the description below. So please check out Nsurgo.com for all of their amazing cool shit that they make. Yep. I can say it. You guys can't put it as a slogan, but I'm gonna say it. This is gonna be your unofficial slogan. Buy our cool shit. Don't forget to subscribe to the Petefighter Podcast and to my YouTube channel. Hit the I'm not very good at this being a YouTuber thing now. You have to be like, yeah, hit subscribe now, and don't forget to hit the bell, and I know, whatever. You guys know what to do. You can also listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, and Deezer. Now, I can't get myself on Google Play because it won't let me upload it from Europe. They say no. They just said podcasts are not available in Europe, apparently, on Google Play. So you can't listen to me on Google Play yet. Hopefully at some point you will be able to, but not right now. So tough. So you'll have to go to Spotify or iTunes, or TuneIn Radio or Deezer or Stitcher. Or, of course, YouTube, if you want to look at our beautiful faces as well while we're doing this. Thank you so much, Rob. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I definitely want to have you back on again.
All right, man. Thank you so much. No, it's been a great show. Wish you continued success in podcasting, and let us know how we can support you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rob. It's been an honor, and I can't wait to be out there with you for con season. It's gonna be just mainly for the eating. So
yeah. That's all I'm looking forward to.
It's food time. Where is it? Bacchanal?
Totally. Oh yeah, we got to do that again.
The legendary buffet.
Legendary Bacchanal.
Exactly. Oh my god. Right. I'm not eating for a week beforehand, so I'm just gonna save myself for that. So thank you so much, and don't forget to subscribe and stuff, and check out all of my social media links. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch as well if you want to see me play video games really, really badly. Don't forget to check out this guy, wrong way, this guy, no, wrong way, this guy, on all of his social media at Nsurgo. Check them out on Twitter and on Instagram and Facebook. And, of course, Twitch as well. And they may be doing some more tournaments soon. So check that out. Have a good one, guys. And thanks for listening. Bye.